Well, of all the women that I know, she has been one of the most inspirational women to me as far as growing a business and continuing to always have her name be nothing but first boss. Part of it's her personality. She's just such a friendly person, and she's gone through ups and downs with her business and has still stayed positive and taken the right turns to keep everything positive. I think that's it. We have ups and downs, and you just keep your chin up and learn your lesson and then move on to something better.
I felt the most moving part was about forgiveness and letting go and starting over and just living your life and not working to, live. You're actually living your life. That was really important to me. She's real. She's just, someone that you can relate to, very approachable. You just feel like she was your best friend. Her central message, I felt, was never giving up, and life may throw you some dips, and just keep moving, just keep progressing, and your faith and your family are what's most important. I thought she spoke very well. She's very poised, but relaxed. You didn't feel like she was reading her PowerPoint to you. So I thought she spoke really well. And her real life experiences and stories, that's, I think, what was most meaningful.
It was awesome. It's very inspiring. Very, very inspiring. And lots of other ladies can follow that. I think, it got me going anyway. It got me thinking about what am I doing with my life. I'm going to have to pick it up a notch. Anybody can be successful. Anybody. Just hard work and perseverance and passion. She's real. She's down to earth. She's real. She's approachable.
I loved Shari's speech. I'm very emotional. She made me cry 3 times. I cried with her. She is just wonderful at telling how you can still go on after you've had a little bit of a setback, and how to pick yourself back up and regroup and make something positive out of it. I think the fact that she did pick herself back up after having a little bit of tragedy in her life. We all need a good win story, and she has a good win story, and she's a wonderful person, and you can tell that. She loves her family, she loves her company. She had heartbreak, and she triumphed over that. I think her message is I think if you're a good person, good things will happen to you and things will go your way. And also you have to work hard and you have to want it. And I think she does, and she did, and she got it, and she's absolutely wonderful. And I love that she's going out and sharing her story with everyone.
It was very inspiring, and it actually reminded me of having Shari's berries as a little girl, so it brought back a lot of good memories. Well, like I said, really good memories as a child of having the strawberries. My dad, who passed away from cancer, he used to give them to us for different holidays, especially like Valentine's Day. And just the fact that she started a company from nothing and grew it into this multi-million-dollar business that everybody knows about, and she was here in Sacramento. So, I was sitting next to her all day, didn't even remember that, it was her. So I loved all the different stories of all the different things that she has gone through and what she learned from them. And I love the fact that she put that into a book, and it's, separated by the chapters. So yeah, it's a fascinating story of just kind of overcoming different things and having a life and making sure that you're putting your faith first. Probably keeping priorities in order, but having passion for your business and doing what you love.
And I had met her there in her shop, and her shop was so beautiful. And I know, and my daughter always sends me Shari's berries for special occasions, and her speech was so inspirational. I loved it. I think what really resonates is that we can fail or have a lot of difficulty and still recover and still succeed. She's very casual and very real, and almost like it feels like you're carrying on a conversation with her, and like she's speaking to you personally. Most of it was so upbeat and so inspiring, and I love the story of entrepreneurs how they started and just the trials and tribulations along the way. And it's not always what we think, like, oh, they're famous, but how they got that way, it's not always as easy as what it appears. So the passionate factor, it's so important that we can just keep trying and we can do whatever we want to be or want to do. And then if there is a bump in the road, like she did have a bump in the road, but she surpassed that and now she's greater than ever. And her accomplishments, I didn't realize she had a winery and a bed and breakfast, but she wrote a book even. I can't wait to read this. So it was very, very inspiring.
I was hugely impressed. The ups and downs, the ins and outs of life is just to hear someone else's perspective, having gone through it, was huge. Kind of in the middle of some of that, so it was very inspiring. I think there's pieces of it that everybody can relate to. I think, from making a decision that you regret to having to find the forgiveness, all of that is something that everyone has a little piece of in their life, I think. Engaging. I had to go to the bathroom and I refused to get up, so you can cut that out later. But I thought she was great. I didn't want to leave my seat. I wasn't ready for it to be over. Yeah, I think, first of all, I've always been curious about her story. I live here in the Sacramento area, so knew a little bit, but didn't really know the story, so that was nice to hear. The beginning, the middle, of the end, and not really the end, the continuation. But for me, I am trying to struggle and find my own business sense, and to hear from somebody else who's been there down the path was huge. So that was really great for me today, personally. I got perseverance and forgiveness. I think those two things coming together were sort of central to her story. Shari inspired me today to really think about how I do my business and how I kind of approach life in a bigger way.
I loved, Shari's speech, especially the part of her overcoming so much, and coming back on top. So many of us, go through struggles and adversities in our life, and it's good to know that at the end you can overcome, and you can come back on top. You can turn it around, it doesn't have to be, the end. Yes, she's very personable, very down to earth, definitely very relatable. Her love for family, Shari's love for the community, that all of these are things that we can relate to, and also the way that it's not all about business for her, I love that Shari is, contributing to the community, takes interest in, for example, her charity work in Puerto Vallarta. It's just awesome. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely overcoming adversity, and not losing yourself, fighting yourself through it all, and then still loving and forgiving, all of this were her message, which is very hard because, we all have people in our life, who has done us wrong, and we tend to keep it inside. So that really, resonate with me, but also her being successful, in business and in life, despite all the adversities. That is just awesome. Everything. Shari's speech was really great overall.
I thought Shari's speech was absolutely amazing, very inspirational. It had quite the journey. So I love that it went from her childhood all the way through and was devastated. She's very compelling, and it was very devastating when her business was taken, and then to see her recover so well is just awesome. And then the things that she does with life is really inspirational. She comes across very real. Shari is a very nice, giving, driven person. She had humor, and she has children that relates to all of us, all of us mothers, and having to balance the life. So she's a very real person that followed her dream and really makes it real for the rest of us. I took away from Shari's speech that if you have something that you are passionate about, follow it and don't give up, and give back. It goes full circle, and so she she leads a very good life and shows that you can overcome adversity and you should pay it forward.
I thought it was pretty fantastic. Shari is very inspirational, and I'm a huge fan of those stories that really show vulnerability and help you kind of realize that from your failures you can really overcome and accomplish just about anything. And Shari's story is pretty fantastic in that way. Very unexpected. I was not expecting that story at all. And everyone at my table cried at some points, laughed at some points. It was pretty fantastic. Shari is authentic. She's very real. She's very humble. And she really showed a lot of emotion and connected with all of us. I mean, I think everyone in the audience could feel what she was feeling when she was speaking. And we were all able to kind of relate to her and realize she's a genuine human being and learn from her experience at the same time. I think Shari's central message is that from failure, you can learn more than you can from success, and that you can really overcome just about anything if you have the right mindset.